Welcome to this explainer on the mind's operating system. Today, we're uncovering how understanding human psychology isn't just some dusty academic pursuit. No, it's actually the ultimate cheat code to regain control of your life. I mean, think about it. The human mind is arguably the most powerful weapon on Earth, right? But that's only true if you actually know how to wield it. If you can master its functions and behaviors, man, it can literally take you places you can't even imagine. So let's just dive right into this with a question that honestly might make you a little bit uncomfortable. Are you really in control of your decisions? We all absolutely love to think we're the masters of our own destiny, right? Just navigating our daily choices with total free will. But I want to challenge that perceived autonomy right out of the gate. Are you truly directing your choices? Or are there invisible forces, hidden patterns, and, external systems just pulling the strings behind the scenes? And this kind of completely redefines our whole topic. When most people hear the word psychology, they immediately picture, I don't know, a boring academic degree or someone lying on a therapist's couch talking about their childhood. But actually, scratch that, it's a massive misconception. Human psychology is the highly practical study of the mind's functions, its patterns, and its behavior. It's an everyday weapon. In fact, massive marketing companies are already using these exact principles to manipulate our buying decisions literally every single day. So whether it's in business, your relationships, or just dealing with people in general, understanding how humans are wired is an absolute necessity. Okay, let's move into our first major section here, mastering your inner self, the mirror of the mind. The very first benefit of studying psychology is finally understanding why we act the way we do. It acts like a mirror, giving us a crystal clear reflection of our own thoughts, emotions, and those deeply hidden beliefs. Think about the phrase, tiger at home, speechless on the stage, right? How many of us are incredibly vocal, super confident in the safety of our own living rooms, but the absolute second we have to speak in front of a crowd, our minds just go completely blank? Well, there are deep psychological reasons for that stage fright. If you take the time to figure out the psychological triggers behind that fear, like what exactly is happening in your brain when you step onto that stage, you can actually learn to intercept and control those reactions. You can literally push your behavior in a totally positive direction. And the absolutely crucial point here is that this isn't just some abstract theory. Understanding your own psychological makeup can completely alter the trajectory of a truly challenging life. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. We know she had an incredibly difficult childhood and struggled really deeply with depression for years. But by understanding and actually applying psychological principles, she totally transformed her life into one of monumental success. It's a real game changer. When you understand your own mind, you literally hold the power to rewrite your reality.
But rewriting that reality is definitely an uphill battle. Every single day, there is this massive war happening inside your head. Logic versus emotion. Logically, we know exactly what we're supposed to do. We set the alarm to wake up early, we plan to eat super healthy, we fully intend to work hard. But what actually happens? The alarm rings, and emotion just says, hey, let's just sleep in. You walk past a street food stall smelling those delicious momos, and while logic is screaming, stick to the diet, emotion whispers, just eat the momos, one day won't hurt. Logic tells you to finish that huge project, but emotion convinces you to, just scroll through reels for another hour. Your wandering mind is constantly derailing your logical goals.
Which brings us to a very, very vital question. Why do emotions usually win? Why do we so consistently fail to resist these urges? Well, it's because, at our very core, we are emotional animals. The level of success we achieve in life depends entirely on how we manage these intense feelings. If you want true stillness, intense focus, and actual greatness in your life, you absolutely have to understand your emotional triggers. You need to know how they pop up and exactly how they overpower you. Really, only through psychology can you learn to rein them in. All right, now that we've looked inward, let's shift our focus outward. Section 2, Navigating the Dark Side, the Hidden Self. If you lack psychological awareness, you are leaving yourself incredibly vulnerable to the toxic people around you. Look, you're inevitably going to encounter people who will become a total headache for you, and you really need a defense system. Every single person you meet has two sides. There's the public face, that carefully curated persona they show the world, and the one you usually end up judging them by. But then, there is the dark side. This is the side they hide, and it's filled with negative emotions and deep-seated insecurities. If you take people purely at face value and completely fail to recognize this hidden dark side, you are just a prime target for manipulation, for sure. But on the flip side, if you actually learn to read people, the benefits are massive. Understanding psychology allows you to spot those toxic individuals way before they can do any real damage. It helps you anticipate their actions, deal with them effectively, and even control the dynamic. And beyond just playing defense, reading people is literally the foundation of mastering high-level communication and building true leadership skills. I mean, you can't really lead people if you don't understand what truly drives them beneath the surface, right? Let's transition over to some massive systemic external forces now. Section 3, escaping the algorithm trap, the top 1%. So here is a pretty harsh truth. You are not the consumer. You are the product of the top 1%. The absolute elite of this world, they do not want you engaging in deep, rational thinking. No way. They want you perpetually distracted, safely confined within this little bubble of cheap entertainment. Whether it's mindless reality TV, endless celebrity drama, or, just debating who wore what and who scored what, all this noise is explicitly designed to keep you trapped. I mean, think about it. Do you really think you choose to watch those reels? When you open an app and suddenly, poof, 2 whole hours just disappear into a void of scrolling, do you truly believe that was an act of your own free will? If you think it's just you making a casual choice to seek out a little entertainment, you are gravely mistaken. Let me tell you exactly how this trap works. Those social media apps, they aren't just built by coders in a basement. They are heavily engineered by entire teams of highly paid psychologists. Big tech companies spend billions, literally billions of dollars, researching human addiction so they can exploit our deepest attention patterns. The settings, the notifications, the endless scroll, it's all psychologically designed so that you just cannot escape. The top 1% know perfectly well that if you start studying deep concepts like philosophy, money, and psychology, you're going to start asking questions. And rational thinkers, they're a massive threat to their system. Understanding psychology is genuinely your only way out of this algorithmic matrix. Okay, so we've established our external defense. Now let's move to a strong internal offense. Section 4, unlocking your mind's power, deep concepts. The human mind is this incredibly mysterious engine, capable of things that even top scientists haven't fully mapped out yet. We're talking about things like the subconscious mind, the power of visualization, the sixth sense, and the power of dreams. Think of your subconscious as basically a massive supercomputer. When you study human psychology, you actually learn how to program it. Through techniques like visualization, you can harness this immense hidden power to achieve some pretty massive success in your waking life. Now, here is a concept that almost always catches people off guard: sex transmutation. I know, you might be thinking, wait, what does physical intimacy have to do with mental success? But we really need to demystify this. This is the profound psychological art of transferring raw physical energy into intense, highly focused mental energy. It's not purely physical at all. It's deeply mental. It's all about taking one of the absolute most potent human drives and redirecting that sheer force straight toward your biggest goals and creative pursuits. And hey, if you doubt the power of that concept for even a second, just look at history. This is the ultimate cheat code. History's absolute greatest achievers and leaders. We're talking brilliant thinkers like Swami Vivekananda, Abraham Lincoln, Muhammad Ali, Steve Jobs, Mahatma Gandhi, and Nikola Tesla. They didn't just stumble into their greatness. They explicitly used this exact psychological art of energy transfer to fuel their legendary achievements. It is quite literally a secret of the highly successful. So we've extensively covered the why. Now let's get into the how. Section 5, the Psychology Starter Pack. Take control. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to give you a real roadmap to unplug from the matrix and start mastering your own mind. Here are 5 absolute essential books to kickstart your journey. First up, The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. This one will really help you understand the dark side of people. Then, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, which just perfectly explains that intense battle between logic and emotion we talked about earlier. Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari gives you this incredible historical context of our entire species. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy is going to teach you exactly how to program that internal supercomputer. And finally, the classic, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which really delves into those deep, mysterious concepts of mental power and energy transfer. To finish up, I want to leave a question just burning in your thoughts. Will you remain a product of the algorithm, easily manipulated by apps, toxic people, and your own unchecked emotions? Or will you actually do the work, read these books, and finally become the master of your own mind? The cheat code is sitting right in front of you. The choice of whether to pick it up and use it is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.